Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to take a closer look at Dragon's Lair, the miniature arcade machine from New Wave Toys. Now, previously I've gone over Street Fighter and Tempest, so if you want to check out that video, you can. I'm not going to repeat myself too much on that, but I'm going to focus mostly on Dragon's Lair. And I also want to bring up why I like these machines so much rather than going for something like an arcade 1-up or an actual arcade machine, or one of the cheaper, smaller versions. So I used to work in the coin-op business. I managed an arcade for several years, and then also I had my own coin-op business where I would like put the machines on location, and then I would maintain them and then share the profits with the owners, like put them at like a pizza place or something like that. And so I owned a whole bunch of these machines. I would have them at my house or in my garage. Had machines coming and going all the time, but I do not have arcade machines in my house anymore because over time I realized it's just too much space for me personally to dedicate to one game. The full-size arcade machines, they're great. They take up a lot of space though, but after a while, a lot of these machines, you get tired of them. And for something that takes that much space, I just couldn't justify it anymore. So the New Wave Toys machines, they are small enough to where they don't take up a huge footprint of space in your house. You can put them on a shelf or wherever. I believe they're, what are they, 1/6 scale or 1/7 scale or something like that. Anyway, they're about a foot tall, and I love the little details that they put in these cabinets. I've seen cheaper ones, the cheaper cabinets that are about this tall, and those are really cool too, but they usually don't have all of the details that the New Wave Toys ones have. These have all the little details that I'm looking for in a machine. So not only is it a nice showpiece, but you can play these machines as well. So the cabinet is cut the same way that the full-size arcade machine is. For example, if you saw these in the thumbnail, you might think I actually cropped a full-size arcade machine in Photoshop and inserted it into the thumbnail, because you wouldn't know otherwise. They look so close to the real thing. This Street Fighter machine looks just the way a Street Fighter machine should, with the light up marquee, the control panel, the bezel around the arcade screen, the decals on the side, the cut of the arcade cabinet. You can see each of these cabinets is shaped a little bit differently. This one, the marquee comes out a little bit. That's the way the original machine was designed. So, and not only that, but the coin doors. Coin doors, we got metal coin doors that open, and these are just like the originals. So for example, the Street Fighter replica has a coin collection door, just like the full-size machine would have. And not only that, but the other reason why I love these machines is even the buttons and the joysticks are authentic. So as you can see here, the buttons click. It uses micro switches because this is a 90s arcade machine where everyone switched to micro switches. The clicky switches, even the joystick clicks. I'm gonna get closer to that so you can hear it. It's got the clicky micro switch buttons like the cherry switches. And then older machines like this use leaf switches, so the buttons are more spongy. They don't have that click. So it's attention to detail like that. These sound and feel like leaf switches that they used in older machines. This sounds and feels like a micro switch that they used in the newer machines. So Dragon's Lair, for example, is a 1983 cabinet. This one used leaf switches, so we don't have that click. You can feel it's nice and soft in the stick. I do have one minor complaint with Dragon's Lair though, in that rather than a more loose leaf switch feel, it feels a little bit more like a membrane switch, which it wouldn't have had at the time. So I don't know if they changed the materials between Tempest and this one, but it's still close enough that I really do appreciate it. Now, one other thing that I've seen, like 6 months ago, someone had a complaint where they broke the Street Fighter joystick off. Now, I've played the heck out of mine, and I'm pretty rough with it, and I haven't broke mine. And I'm not saying that guy was rough with his controls. He said he was careful with it and it broke. So it's very likely that a manufacturing defect, or just, you know, everyone plays a little bit differently. It could just come down to certain play styles. And he did bring up a really good point in that this arcade stick, because it's so thin and the center is made out of plastic, I could totally see that thing breaking too. Now I'm probably going to be a little bit more careful with this thing because I don't want mine to break. I'm probably going to plug in an arcade stick or a PlayStation controller into the back USB ports and play it that way from now on, just to kind of preserve that stick, because I don't want the same thing to happen to mine. Again, maybe it was a manufacturing defect. Maybe he just had a piece that was already weakened, some weak plastic or something like that. But I don't really want to risk it. But the thing I want to point, the reason why I'm pointing this out is because Dragon's Lair, this is a newer machine from them. It uses a metal stick. And so I think this is a company that actually cares about quality. You can tell by the little details that they put into the machines. They care about quality. And of course you're kind of paying for it too, because these are like over $100. I think I actually got Street Fighter on sale. I got that one for $100, but yeah, they're normally like $120, $130, $140. So yeah, it's something to be mindful of. They are pretty pricey, but they actually care about quality because they shifted to this metal core joystick. Now, will they keep using a metal core? I hope so. I hope they keep using a metal stick because that was an issue apparently with at least one customer whose stick broke on the Street Fighter. So what I'm getting at is, like, you know, a lot of companies, they get this success and then the quality starts to slide. They have good quality in the beginning and then quality starts sliding because they get greedy. They want to make more money. This company seems to be one that is looking to improve and learn from their mistakes and fix the problems that they've had in the past. This is the first game they released that had an actual joystick, so this is the first time they had to deal with this issue. There's a lot of custom manufactured parts that go into these machines. For example, their first machine they released was Centipede. I really wish I got that one because that uses a trackball controller, which is really cool. And then Street Fighter uses the arcade sticks. And then Tempest has the rotary knob, and it feels just like the rotary knob would in the arcade. And they even, it's the little details. They thought to make a removable knob, so you can actually take this knob off and put a bigger one on to make it easier to control with your thumb and finger, pointer finger. So they have little solutions like that. So you can leave the small stick on to make it look more like the authentic miniaturized version of the arcade, or you can put the bigger one on to make it a little bit easier to play with. And then with Dragon's Lair, I mean, it's just, this is what the stick is supposed to look like. It's got a red knob on the top, and actually look at this. You can unscrew it. You can actually unscrew the red knob from the top here, and it's replaceable. And yeah, you can see that metal core in there. So this is a nice, sturdy joystick. And I'll show you guys the original parts for a Dragon's Lair machine. This is what they would look like. These are what the original parts look like. You can order these, the official arcade sticks and everything. And you can see it uses leaf switches, so not like micro switches. And it looks just like this, and it feels just like this. So it's really cool. I love that about New Wave Toys and their little miniature arcade machines. Now also, you'll notice that there's a little scoreboard up here. So the official arcade cabinet had a separate little display for scoring information, and this has it too. Now, Dragon's Lair was one of the few machines that used a Laserdisc player. So on the back here, it's got a pull-out drawer, and it has a replica of the official Laserdisc player that was in Dragon's Lair. And it even includes the little remote down here too. So let's go ahead and open this up and check it out. Let's get a little closer look at this. So here you can see it's the Laserdisc Model 3, and the little door lifts up on the top, and you'd put your disc in there, and it looks like there's a little holder maybe for the remote right here. So very cool. So yeah, these coin doors are metal. You have to be careful with the little key that you grab onto to pull it open. And then the coin slots light up, of course, but you use these as buttons to insert coins. So you don't actually put the little miniature coins in here. Those are just for looks. You can press on the coin buttons to insert credits. And again, just like the arcade, this took 50 cents to play. One of the first machines that took 50 cents to play. which is why I never played this in the arcade. I only looked at it in fascination and watched other people play it because I was a little kid that didn't want to blow my 50 cents on dying within the first 5 seconds of playing this machine. So I watched other people play this. I have very fond memories of watching this in the arcade back then. And then when I was done watching people play, I would go play skee ball and, you know, win tickets and get prizes. But, oh yeah, I got the volume down on this so it doesn't distract us too much. We can turn it up here. And so this is running Daphne, which is the kind of the Laserdisc emulator. Obviously there's no giant Laserdisc player in here, but Daphne is actually preferable to the Laserdisc player even if you're running a full-size arcade machine, because for one, you're not putting wear and tear on this Laserdisc player, but also it loads the different segments up a lot faster. Normally the Laserdisc has to seek those tracks to play the video. Now the other cool thing that this has, it also has the USB ports for, you know, player controllers, but this one has an HDMI out, which is a great little feature. I'm glad they thought of that, especially for Dragon's Lair, because this is one of those games that I would want to experience full screen, you know, and see it on the big screen or whatever. So you can do that. You can plug this in to a TV, and then you can plug in a joystick, and you can play it. This thing, by the way, has a battery in it. So we can actually leave it unplugged and it's still on. So this has a rechargeable battery in it. So yeah, you could bring this with you on the go if you wanted and just play Dragon's Lair. It's like a Dragon's Lair portable. So these will stay powered on all day if they're plugged in. Some rechargeable devices aren't able to do that, like they actually consume more power than they take in. So you'll be able to have them on for a while and then eventually they'll power off. These will stay on all day, so they consume less power than they take in. Just like arcade machines are normally left on all day. Now I'm gonna show you guys the box because I actually have some extra accessories in there that came with it, and the box is kind of cool too. So here is the box. And it kind of goes over a lot of the features on the outside here, and inside we've got this Dragon's Lair art, which is pretty cool. All right, and then inside here, I just had a few more accessories that I want to show you guys. So it came with a reproduction manual, also the laser disc, a little mini laser disc with the sleeve for it, and a Daphne kick plate decal so you can stick that on the front. These also come with little tiny tokens too. So I just want to run down the features on the side of the box in case I missed anything. Plays the original 1983 Dragon's Lair arcade game, fully functional secondary scoreboard displays, player scores, lives, and credits. So yeah, that little red display that you see up there. Traditional 4:3 aspect ratio on a gorgeous 4.2-inch screen. Operator menu featuring dip switch settings and cabinet controls. So yes, you can get into the system settings on this thing too if you want to configure anything. Miniaturized 1/6 scale control panel featuring authentic joystick and action buttons. Like I was telling you guys, this is like the authentic thing, but obviously miniaturized, from the artwork on here to even the way that the controls and the buttons function and the way that they look. Cabinet constructed from premium materials, wood, metal, plastic, die-cast metal coin door with storage compartment. I didn't mention that, but yes, there is a little storage compartment on the front where you could probably put in some of these extras like the tokens and stuff. On some of these others, I like to put the tokens in the front storage compartment. Illuminated marquee and LED cabinet accents. Signature amplified multi-speaker audio reproduction with volume control. So yeah, on the back there is a volume control to adjust the volume. And the sound is really good on this. It has 2 speakers on the back. High resolution cabinet art reproduction on quality 3M vinyl overlays. So yes, all the cabinet art, the decal on the side, that is like a reproduction art, just miniaturized, just like on the original cabinet. Same thing with the control panel overlay. Built-in lithium ion rechargeable battery. HD TV connectivity. Again, it's got that HDMI out. I don't know if they're planning on doing that with any of the future releases too, but this is the first one that has had it. But then again, this is one that I would say benefits the most. Like, you know, if it were on, say, Asteroids or something, it might not be as cool. Do you really need it on Asteroids? Yeah, maybe it would be cool, but is it necessary for like a price upgrade? You know, if it costed more? Maybe not. But it'll be interesting to see if they use that going forward on future cabinets. USB controller support. It's got 2 USB ports on the back, so you can plug controllers in. It uses any standard controller, PlayStation, arcade sticks, whatever. Mini Laserdisc player replica with rear cabinet storage drawer. And then also on the back of the box, it kind of shows all of their releases to date. So they started with Centipede here, which unfortunately I missed out on that. Now it's way too expensive. These things, by the way, have been retaining their value. So once they're sold out, the value goes way up on these on the secondary market. So if you look on eBay or whatever, these get really expensive. There's no way I'm ever gonna buy the Centipede. Now, the Street Fighter, I actually got that on sale for $100. So that one I thought was overproduced. So I thought, oh man, they're starting to overproduce these now. But sure enough, when that eventually sold out from the sale and everything, price is skyrocketing on the Street Fighter machine now. So yeah, these are kind of a worthwhile investment, I would say. Now, there's always the chance that the next machine, they do overproduce it and value doesn't really go up, but I can't imagine it going down at this point. They're already taking pre-orders for the next machine, which is Qbert. And of course, I placed my pre-order for that. I did skip the Asteroids cabinet because I'm not really into asteroids. And unfortunately, I missed the pre-order for 1942 and 43. I do want to pick up the 1943, but I'm not going to get the pre-order discount. I have to wait for it to go up for full regular price. So I will pick up the 1943. I think both of those cabinets come with both games on it. So whether you get the 1942 cabinet or the 1943 cabinet, each of them will have both games on there. So really you only need one of them. It's going to be all down to cabinet preference. Do you like the older style cabinet or the newer style cabinet? I prefer the newer style cabinets. All right, guys, well, I hope that wasn't too boring. I just am really passionate about these arcade machines. I love these. I love arcade machines in general. And then now that they have these miniaturized versions, they're so cool. And yeah, they are pretty collectible too. So, you know, if you end up getting into it, I know it's expensive. It's like, you gotta have to draw a line somewhere. You know, I've got figures which are also expensive. The games are expensive. And then the arcade cabinets. There's so many things these days that you can get into with collecting or whatever, but I get the stuff that I'm passionate about. All right, guys, hope I didn't come off as too much of like an arcade snob. I just wanted you guys to know my background and also why I made the decision to go with these. Every YouTuber has those arcade one-up machines, but they're just not for me. But, you know, I'm happy that other people are happy with them. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, I will see you later.